everyone, my name is Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today I'm going to share with you a really easy card to create. Of course, that's about the only kind of cards I make are easy ones. And so this card is just especially gorgeous. It uses the Botanical Gardens Designer Series paper, which Stampin' Up! Has currently in the Occasions catalog. So it's really a nice paper. It's got even some masculine prints in it, and I just love it. And of course, with Stampin' Up! You have two different sides to the paper, so there's always something you can grab that will work for just about any kind of card. And so this one is just so beautiful, and it uses the Botanical Builder framelits. And one of the things that I love about this framelit set is that it actually cuts the dies with some little movable parts, and I think that's so pretty, especially on this particular flower card here. And then of course the stamp set that I'm using, well, you could buy the Botanical stamp set. It's called Botanical Blooms, and you can coordinate it with the Botanical Builder, which is always the best way to go because then you save 15% on both your stamp set and your die set. But in today's card, I'm using just the Botanical Builders dies along with the Sweet Sayings stamp set. Now all of these products are in our Occasions 2016 spring catalog. And so let's go ahead and get started creating this card. And the first thing that I have is a piece of our thick Whisper White paper. This is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and then I've gone ahead and scored it at 4.25. So I'm just going to go ahead, fold along the score line and give it a nice press. And then on the inside part, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add this little strip of Designer Series paper. And it's 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. I like to do that because then it just adds a little extra something to the inside that helps coordinate with something on the outside. So I'm going to attach that with a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. Typically I don't use glue on Whisper White, but this is our thick Whisper White, so it's very sturdy. You're not going to get any glue lines showing through. So we just set that down on the left side of the inside panel. Now for our outside panel, we're going to be building everything on this layer of Hello Honey paper. So we're going to set the card base aside and we're going to work with the Hello Honey layer. This is 4 by 5 1/4 inches. That's kind of standard for a layer on top of your card base. And then we're going to put a layer of the Botanical Gardens Designer Series paper on top of that. This is 3 3/4 by 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and again, using multi-purpose liquid glue on the back side, we are just going to set this right here along the top of our Hello Honey paper. Just kind of press that in so it's nice and even. Beautiful. The next step is to use our Botanical Gardens Designer Washi Tape. Now this is a brand new set, but I do have another set that I'm using. And so we're going to use this big wide washi right here with the Mossy Meadow. And it actually coordinates to some of the Designer Series paper. So I'm going to lay this across the bottom so that it is flush with the bottom of the Designer Series paper. And then I'm just adding a little extra to the side so we can do a wrap around. And I love that it has this sort of see-through effect, even though it's a dark color, so it adds contrast to your card, but it also adds a hint of something that's underneath. So I love that about this particular piece of the washi paper. Then we're going to do our stamping. So this is the stamp pad we're using, which is Mossy Meadow. It's one of the in colors that will soon be retiring, as well as the Hello Honey. So if you happen to get this Botanical Gardens paper, you might want to be sure that you have some Hello Honey and Mossy Meadow to coordinate with it before those go out. They will be retired this spring. So I'm just going to pick up my Celebrate You stamp. That's from the Sweet Sayings again, and we're just inking it up, and we're going to set it right down here at the bottom of this Hello Honey panel. Give it a press, let it sit there a second so the ink has a chance to soak through onto the paper, and we have this part of our card done. Now we need to go ahead and use the Big Shot machine and cut out our dies. I've already done that, so let me show you the sandwich that I used. I used on the bottom our magnetic platform. Then I added the precision plate because these are fine dies. You can tell that they're one of those thinlet dies because they have all the little holes in to help you release it from the paper. Now this one just happened to come off really easy. But then I'm just ran it through the Big Shot machine with a cut plate over the top of this. And these are all just scraps of paper. So this was Mellow Moss. This particular one is Cajun Craze. And then this is our Hello Honey. And so for this particular die, I like to start it by getting one of these pieces up, and then I just go around, and with my thumb I can continue to sort of move up and under, move up and under, move up and under, all the way around to release this piece from the paper. Or another quick way to release from the paper is to use our die brush. So we have a pad, and I've gone ahead and I've just put it into a wood mount block case because that's just the right size to hold the pad. So if it's hard to get the paper out of the die, like this particular one, just take your die brush and you are just going to rub it over the back of the die like this, over your foam pad. And that helps to release it so that you can just grab it and pull it from the die. So let me put this back. And now we just need to put these on our cards. So let me move this out of the way. Bring the panel back into the picture. And the first thing I'm going to do is just set this. I know I'm going to want this fern coming up like this. And I also know that I want this flower on a dimensional. So if I attach the fern with a dimensional, which is nice and easy to do, so I can just add that right here. So that attaches the fern. Oops, let me get that peely off. And I might go ahead and put one more dimensional on just to grab it so that it has a hold of this paper here. Sometimes if you put dimensionals just on the washi tape, they might not adhere real well because the washi tape is a little bit slippery. So then we can take this one, and I like to just pull these kind of moving flower petals up a little bit to give it a little dimension. I just love this die. And then we can set that right on top of those dimensionals that I've put down. And then we're going to use a glue dot to go ahead and adhere the center part to our flower. So I'll just take this, hoover it over the glue dot, attach that, and then we can just set this in like so. So beautiful. And then to add the finishing touch, we are going to use some Regal's Candy Dots. And then all I have to do to bring that up, and I've got one open. This is a full pack that I don't have open, but I have a pack that's open here. So I'm just going to pull away from this pack a Cajun Craze Regal's Candy Dot and just set it right here. That is the perfect finishing touch to that flower. Look how gorgeous that is. And now all we need to do is adhere this to the front of our card. So that's nice and easy. We're just going to take some multi-purpose liquid glue, give it a little bit of a swirl all the way around the back of this panel. And then we're just going to set it onto the front of our card base and kind of wiggle it into place. And our card is complete. So here's the card I've just done. Here's the card I had created in advance. And I truly hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I've sure enjoyed presenting it to you. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you need a demonstrator and would like to place product orders from the Occasions catalog or our regular 2015-16 annual catalog, be sure to visit my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com. Have a great day. I truly appreciate you. Bye-bye.